Hi, so I've been asked to make a video about school and parents noticing and just generally how to cope with an eating disorder. So I'll start with school. The school, even though you might not think it, some of your teachers will notice and they might speak to the school nurse or your head of year and things like that. They will be concerned and they will notice because it's quite obvious when someone who might normally be quite chatty and sporty sort of gets a lot quieter and withdrawn and things like that, which is what happens when you have an eating disorder. With school, don't be afraid to talk to someone, school nurse, the teacher that you get on well with, things like that. They will obviously love to help, and my school particularly helped with my referral to CAMS, who helped me a lot in the end. With attending school, I personally was attending school right up until I was admitted to hospital, which probably wasn't the best idea at the time because obviously through not eating, my heart had got weaker because your heart is a muscle and without food it will get weaker and smaller. So attendance, after I'd been discharged from hospital, I was allowed to go back to school, but I was given quite strict rules about how often I could go in. So it started off with just once a week, maybe, like one day a week, or for example, I could go in for half days, things like that. So just slowly being reintroduced back into school so that the exercise isn't too strenuous, both for the reasons of your physical health and also in regards to having to gain weight. People at school will know that there is a problem. It's quite obvious, even if no one says it to you. Since returning to school, I've spoken to my friends, and they said that people knew that something was up. Like it is quite obvious in most cases. And then parents. My parents went through several stages when they realised that something was wrong. They went through the initial panic. Well, this was my mum first. My dad didn't really realise anything was wrong. The initial panic where it's like, what are you doing? Why aren't you eating? Why are you losing weight? Things like that. So my mum took me to the doctors, but they said everything was fine. Then there's sort of frustration, where your parents might get quite angry, quite frustrated at you. This could lead to lots of arguments, maybe not just related to food, related to any other thing, just because they're so frustrated with you, because they don't understand why you're not eating. And then desperation is a stage where they might plead with you to eat, plead with you to not exercise, plead with you to put on weight or see someone who can help you. It's natural for parents to go through lots of different phases where they might behave differently in an attempt to help you. It's probably best to respond to these, or if you're not sure whether or not you have a problem and your parents are talking to you in the way it's like, please eat, why aren't you eating enough? You are probably not eating enough. So I would listen to them if I were you, because the further down you slip, the harder it is to climb back up in recovery. And then generally, coping with an eating disorder. It's difficult. Sometimes it's hard to hide the things that you're worrying about. For example, if your friends suggest going out for a meal as a birthday treat or as birthday outing, it may be difficult. You may think, I really want to go, I really want to spend time with my friends, but equally I'm not sure what to eat. My big tip for that would be look at the menu beforehand and see what is there that you feel happy eating, because then you don't have to worry once you're there, because you know what you're going to have and you feel more comfortable about it. And if there is really nothing on the menu that you feel happy with, ask your friend who's organised it and say, please, could we go somewhere else? And I'm sure they'll understand, especially if you're in recovery. Other things, body image, I have spoken about this before, but I'm just been painting my nails. That always makes me feel happy knowing that I've got nice painted nails. Exercising. When I used to exercise, I used to hate it so much because it would take up so much of my time. It made my muscles ache. Some mornings I couldn't walk properly. Trying to explain that to my mum, why I couldn't walk properly, was hard. And then if I had gone to bed at 10 o'clock, whereas most people would have gone into bed and slept at 10 o'clock, I would exercise until goodness knows when. Try not to exercise. If you feel the need to exercise, distract yourself is a good one. Paint your nails, read a book, do some homework, late night homework, get it done, get out of the way. Or if you feel you have to exercise, do something small, just sit and wiggle your leg, or do little kicks with your feet, things like that. Try not to do full-on extreme exercises. Not good for you, and it's not going to help you at all in your recovery. Another thing is winter in general. For me, that was always the worst time of the year, when I always did worse. Both of the times when I've had massive dips have been over winter time. I think it's just because it's so dark, so dreary, you can't do as much, you can't go out as much, and also it's extremely cold. When you're underweight, you feel the cold more. I used to get awful chilblains. I don't know, some people might experience that. Sort of big red swellings on your fingers and toes. It's very uncomfortable and they hurt if you knock them at all, worse than stubbing your toe. So it's pretty extreme. So the best thing I can suggest is wrap up warm and put on weight. It's the only really way to get around that. Another thing, try talking to a friend. I think it's hard to do, but they'll know something's wrong. If you feel you can trust them, talk to them. I think talking to my friends is what's helped me finally recover once and for all. I became really good friends with her around September time, and I've been sort of fully better since around, I would say, sort of November, December time. It's just helped so much, letting her know how I feel, letting her know what I'm worried about. If I'm down about something, just getting it off my chest. And with eating disorders, you have irrational thoughts. If you tell someone who doesn't have an eating disorder, they can help you rationalise your thoughts and realise that these faulty thoughts which are causing you to maintain your eating disorder are completely wrong, and you're beautiful, and you deserve the right to be happy, and you can eat whatever you want, whenever you want, within reason, obviously. So I hope this has helped, and I hope I haven't rambled on too much, and good luck.